First, let's take a look at what was going on Tuesday night with the rankings release. You've got Georgia 1. Ohio State did move up to number 2 after that absolute dismantling of Michigan State. Alabama at 3, and then everyone was all thrilled. They're like, hey, the group of 5 broke the top 4. And they did at 4 with Cincinnati, Michigan 5, Notre Dame at 6. I would just caution everybody, like, Cincinnati being at number 4 right now doesn't really matter. If you remember the first iteration of this playoff in the very first year, TCU was in the top 4. Won their last game by, I believe, 50 points or even more, and was dropped out of the top 4 as Ohio State won the Big Ten championship and went to the playoff and won the eventual national championship. So I really don't care what they gave us so far. Cincinnati, I think that you should be nervous until they don't include the Big 12 champion, in particular if that champion was only a 1-loss team. You should be nervous until they don't include a 2-loss Alabama. I mean, all of those scenarios have got to be floated out there because you just don't know with this committee. You just don't know. As far as the matchups this weekend, we've got enormous matchups, folks. The game, Michigan, Ohio State. Gus, Jenny, and I will be there. Big Noon Kickoff. Coverage begins at 10 a.m. Eastern time. Winner of this game goes to the Big Ten championship. I mean, it can't get any bigger. The only thing that could make this bigger if they were ranked number 1, number 2, like it was back in 2006. Ohio State has won 8 straight games against Michigan. They have dominated this series of late. Michigan's 0-5 against Ohio State under Jim Harbaugh. But this game just seems and feels a little bit different, and that's why we're going to break it down in depth here in the next segment. You're going to want to stay tuned for that because I've got all the ins and outs of how Michigan can keep it close, what Ohio State is doing so well on the offensive side. So that's coming up. The other big matchup, I think, is Bedlam in terms of a rivalry. You got Mike Gundy and the Oklahoma State Cowboys that have had a phenomenal season, in particular in this back half. After they got healthy on offense, this defense is sensational. No one scored on them over the last month or so. I mean, they've been excellent on defense, and Oklahoma's offense has started to struggle. So while that, yes, they're the number 1 scoring offense in the Big 12, they don't feel like it because Caleb Williams in the last 2 games that Gus and I have called, Baylor and then against Iowa State, has struggled throwing the football. He's not seeing the field very well. Now he's got to go up against that Jim Knowles defense for Oklahoma State. Oklahoma has won 6 straight meetings against the Cowboy. Oklahoma leads the all-time series 90-18, which is absolutely crazy. It just feels differently, folks. Normally every year it's like, yeah, you know, listen, Oklahoma owns Bedlam and even Ohio State owns the game. And yet this year Oklahoma State and Michigan feel like they're built to compete in each of these games. I just feel like it could be a wild rivalry week, and I'm here for it. I love it. This is why I love college football, folks. On a Thanksgiving week, we've got 2 of the biggest matchups in college football. They feature some of the best rivalries, and everything is on the line, and I'm here for it. I can't wait. Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoy that clip, make sure you click subscribe somewhere down here. From game highlights to exclusive interviews and rankings, we've got everything you need as a college football fan right here. College football on Fox.